Hi everyone. So in this video, I will be sharing the books that I read in the month of November. So let's begin. November has been a month of slow reading for me. I could only finish White Nights. In this video, I'll be just telling you a brief about this book because I have already made a separate video for White Nights. About this book, I would say, firstly, it's a very short read. So if you would want to step into the world of Russian classics, particularly Dostoevsky, I think you can start with White Nights. It's a very easy read as compared to his other works. That's what I've heard. White Nights is the only book that I've heard, that I have read of Dostoevsky. Talking of White Nights, it's a poignant story about a person who leads a solitary life and the kind of thoughts, the kind of lifestyle that he builds for himself. Basically, loneliness is one of the most explored themes of this book, along with unrequited love. So that's what the story of White Knight revolves around. Like, those are the themes. You should try reading Dostoevsky for the richness of his writing that he has. The style of writing that he has. He has a literally like unique style of writing. I would go on to say about Dostoevsky that he is one of those few authors who can induce life in the most intangible and most abstract things that you can think of. He can make them talk. That's what I would say about this author. I absolutely loved reading White Nights. So, if you are someone who would want to start with reading Dostoevsky, I think you can pick White Nights. So I will be making a separate video for the review, like detailed review of the book. In one of my previous videos, I have just shared a couple of my thoughts about the book. So another book that I'm currently reading is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. If you have been watching my videos for some time now, you might already be aware that I am a huge Jane Austen fan. So she is one such author whose writings I consider were way ahead of her times. Like, the social commentary that she does in her writings is still valid today. So that is one thing about it. Now, I won't go much into detail about this book. I'll create a dedicated video for this. But just for the sake of this video, a little bit about this book. This book is about two sisters, Eleanor and Marianne, mainly. Like, it's like there is so much more to it, which you'll find out once you read it. But mainly about Eleanor and Marianne and the kind of conflicts of, as the title says, sense and sensibility. So there are a lot of situations that occur in the throughout the narration, throughout the story, which brings the sense versus sensibility conflicts that these two sisters have to take care of. And you would love the difference in opinions, difference in understanding of the situations, difference in the decision making that these two sisters bring in, or take the decisions, right? So that is one thing. And you should try exploring Jane Austen if you love some strong female leads, particularly. And also, like, something about Jane Austen I would say is that the way you'll read about her characters, right? The character descriptions, I mean, they are so richly crafted. Every character, like not just the protagonist or not just the main characters, but all the side characters also. They have some sort of weird quirks or some sort of weird habit that makes them distinct and makes them stand out from the other characters. So, like, that is something that I really love. Like, for me, characters are a very important aspect of a story. Like, not for me, for many readers. So you should try reading Jane Austen for the kind of characters, strong characters, and very descriptive, richly crafted characters, I would say. So that is one. And also, yeah, about this book, I would say. So this particular version is like, if you know Jane Austen, she was a Regency era writer. So if you read this version, it has the older version of the English, like the Regency era English. So you might find it a little bit daunting at first, especially if you have not been reading something of older English sort of like books. So in that case, I would suggest that you read some basic version of the story first, like the easier versions of these books first, but then please, please, please come back to this version, because in the translation, the real essence of the dialogues, the real humor and wit which resides in those dialogues, it gets missed. So I would really want you to read this version again. Like once you've read the basic version, just to get a basic know-how of story, come back to this version because like you would want to. Once you read it, you'll get to know why I'm saying so. So yeah, that's about Sense and Sensibility. Another book is The Mountain Is You. It's a work of nonfiction by Brianna Wiest. Now, um, this is one of those books which I would recommend that you pick it up at the time when you start having thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes to be successful, or similar thoughts along those lines basically. As human beings, it's very, very natural to have sort of self-sabotaging thoughts. So it's a book which talks about how self-sabotaging works and what you can do to get rid of those self-sabotaging thoughts. So the subtitle of this book is Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery. So the subtitle itself explains what this book is about. There is a part in this book which deals with like attachment to what you don't really want. So basically, this part of the book deals with like the self-sabotaging thoughts that you have when you get attached to something which you don't really want, right? So what you can do to resolve this, this is what the author has to say. Be willing to accept that maybe your success story doesn't look the way that you once thought it might. Maybe the kind of success you're really hungry for is to feel at peace each day, or making your life about travel instead of work. Maybe it's about having thriving friendships or a happy relationship. Maybe the business you got into 10 years ago isn't the business you want to be in forever. Maybe the work you thought you'd love isn't coming as naturally as you hoped. When we let go of what isn't right for us, we create space to discover what is. However, doing so requires the tremendous courage to put our pride aside and see things for what they really are. So, the way this book is structured is something which is not overwhelming for someone. So, this is something, it falls in the category of self help. I generally don't recommend self-help books a lot, but this is one such books which I would recommend. So this was about The Mountain Is You. Another book that I am still reading is Anxious People. I won't go much into detail about this one also because I have already shared a couple of my thoughts about this one. It's also a book it's also a reading in progress. So this is one book that I would recommend for its impeccable storytelling filled with humor, wit, and sarcasm. It is one of those few books which you cannot put down because the story is so engaging. So read it for its storytelling. And it's a book which, if you're having a reading slump, right? Even though the book is sort of like mid-length, I would say, but like it's not a short read, but the storytelling is so engaging that you can keep reading it and you can finish it very soon. It's just that I have been working on a couple of things, so I could not finish it, but it's a book that you can use to get out of a reading slump. So that was about my November reads. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you like this video, do hit the like button, do comment, share with your friends and family, and yeah, so that's it.